सुन्दरविग्रह मेघश्याम गङ्गातुलसीशालग्राम सुन्दरविग्रह मेघश्याम गङ्गातुलसी शालग्राम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम भद्रगिरीश्वर सीताराम भगत जना प्रिय सीताराम भद्रगिरीश्वर सीताराम भगत जना प्रिय सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम जानकी रमणा सीताराम जय जय राघव सीताराम जानकी रमणा सीताराम जय जय राघव सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम सीताराम Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone. This morning's class. Today we're going to do a Dussehra special, meaning we're going to discuss on the significance, the importance, and what are the messages of this beautiful festival in our life? What are the applications of this festival in our life? Before we get started with this Dussehra special class, let's all do the prayer. Put your palms together. If you do not know the prayer, please open up this link on your website and go ahead and do the prayer from there. For all others, please close your eyes, put your palms together and sing the prayer along. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Krishnaya Vasudevaya. Devaki Nandanaya Cha. Nanda Gopa Kumaraya. Govindaya Namo Namaha. Namo Pankajanaಭಾಯ Namo Pankajamaline Namo Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangraye Om Ajnanaतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा माह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarupyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So this prayer that we do at the beginning of every class is asking and seeking for blessings from all the acharyas, from all the Vaishnavas, from great writers, composers, and those role models who have helped us in Krishna consciousness, our own gurus, our parents, Srimati Radharani, Krishna, Lord Krishna, and of course, our Panchatattva deities, which are Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Assembly of all the great devotees. We are asking their blessings so that we understand. First of all, we understand. First of all, we listen attentively, and then after we listen, we're able to understand. And after we understand, we're able to contemplate. And after we contemplate, we're able to apply these values and these lessons in our lives at the right time, in the right situations, because we have so many situations in our life where we have to make choices. Every moment is about making choices, isn't it? What activity do I do? What social media do I pick up? Do I do educational social media or something which is destructive social media? Or do I do something which helps me grow intelligently? My consciousness becomes better by doing that activity. So all those choices that we are making, we should make right choices. And for that, we need knowledge, and knowledge comes from spiritually uplifting classes like this, where we teach, we learn about and hear about Krishna, the teachings of Krishna, and also the role models and the pastimes. Okay, so today we're going to talk about Dussehra. So first of all, do you all know what Dussehra, the word Dussehra means? If anybody knows, please raise your hands and start speaking. What Dussehra means? Yes, Supreet, go ahead.
It means Dash means like 10, and then Hara means like killed. So like Dashra means the one who killed the 10-headed demon.
Awesome. So yes, it's a Sanskrit word, and dasha means 10, as he told rightly, and hara means defeat. Actually, there's another meaning for hara. Lord Shiva is also referred to as Hara, Hara Hara Mahadev. But in this context, hara means defeat. So uh, Dashahara means the one who had 10 heads was defeated. Right? 10 heads, 10 signifies the 10 heads of Lord of Ravana. Do we all know who Ravana is? We all know, right? From Ramayana pastime. So the 10 signifies the 10-headed Ravana, and Hara means defeated. So this is the day, or this tithi, or this auspicious day is the day when Lord Rama defeated the 10-headed Ravana, was demoniac, who was Asura. Ravana, Asura. Asuras are those entities who have all demoniac qualities, who are on the side of unrighteousness, who are complete embodiments of sense gratification. That is the closest definition we can understand. Of course, they have some of the mystical powers. Asuras have mystical powers too. But for us to understand something which is more relevant to us is Asuras are embodiments of sense gratification. For them, their sense gratification is the topmost at the cost of other living entities, at the cost of righteousness, at the cost of value based living. Those entities are called as asuras. And Ravana was these negative qualities personified. He wanted to enjoy, he wanted everything for himself. And that message for all of us is, if we are constantly thinking about what is in it for me, how will I enjoy, how does it benefit me, and if it benefits me, I'm going to get it regardless of how much harm it's going to cause to others, then we are also having some of Ravana qualities. But we don't have the mystical powers like Ravana, therefore we cannot do whatever Ravana did. But in terms of those qualities, we also will be saying that we'll have, showing that we have those qualities if we are thinking about our own self, which we all do, right? We all, most of the times, are thinking about us. Yes or no? But how much are we thinking about ourselves at the cost of others, at the cost of harming others, at the cost of stealing from others? Like how Ravana terrorized by abducting Mother Sita, isn't it? And then he wanted to possess her, um, and he was putting her in custody and in literally torturing not physically, but he was making her unhappy, right? And for that, he was ready to even wage a war, which at the cost of killing so many of his own people and the cost of killing on the side of Rama. So this is one significant reason on this day, Lord Rama destroyed Ravana. And coming to Lord Rama's qualities, which we have to learn and remember and apply. Lord Rama, though he was the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, when he appeared in Treta Yuga as Lord Rama, he never exhibited any of those divine powers. He exhibited ordinary human qualities. However, there were some potencies that he exhibited, but not because, not showing his divine nature, but because of the various noble qualities that he lived by as a human being. As a human being, he lived a value based life. As a human being, he chose character. As a human being, he chose dharma or righteousness. As a human being, he never ever chose shortcuts. As a human being, he never broke the injunctions or the laws of living. Yes, Prajit.
Like, could you give like an example of possibly one of those things that you explained? Do you know a specific example
Of Lord
possible?
Rama doing all this?
Yes, like a
Yes.
specific one. I want to just hear one.
Yes, yeah, of course, we will talk a little bit about Lord Rama, how he conducted himself as a human being, not exhibiting his divine powers, but as a human being, his powers were gained by living a value-based life, by choosing righteousness, by choosing virtues, by choosing character. For example, Lord Rama, when he was ordered by his, not ordered by, when he was told by his father, King Dashratha, that he has to go on exile to satisfy the boon that he had given to Mother Kaikeyi. You all know this pastime, isn't it? All of us know this pastime, where Lord Rama was sent for 14 years to exile. At the right on the day before he was going to be crowned as the king of Ayodhya, of the entire kingdom. The capital city was Ayodhya, right? So next day was going to be his crowning ceremony, where he's going to be declared as the king of Ayodhya, right? However, that night before, Mother Kaikeyi approaches Dashratha and tells him, reminds him of the past boons that she had, which she said she's going to ask later. And she tells, I want you to satisfy those boons now. And one of those boons and one of those requests that I have is for you to send Rama to the forest for 14 years. Now, just imagine if you're going to be awarded tomorrow and the stage is all set for the award ceremony, because there's no crowning nowadays like kings and all. We don't have that situation. But let's say you are going to be declared as a president or a good leadership role in some in club in your school where you have worked very hard and you are deserving also. It's not about only working hard, but you deserve in all respects that you're going to be crowned or declared as the president of some club that you found and you worked hard and you're very passionate about. And the day before, somebody comes and tells, oh, no, you cannot do it. Someone else will be taking it. How much heartbroken will you be? Can you all imagine this? What will we do? Immediately we'll start throwing tantrums. We will show, oh, this is unfair. This is cheating, or this is what not appropriate, isn't it? But Lord Ramachandra, when he was told that he has to be he has to be going to the forest for 14 years, he wasn't even disappointed. The slightest of he wasn't. He wasn't he wasn't heartbroken, he wasn't surprised, he wasn't taken aback, he wasn't angry, he wasn't not doing any of those things that we as ordinary human beings would do. Why? Because for him, respecting his father's decision, whom he believed as the right decision maker for him, and accepting whatever that comes his way was the prime duty. It wasn't about the positions that he was going to take. It's more about the activity, the job, the duty that he was going to do diligently. So this is one example. Okay. And then the other example is while he was in the forest, he could have taken many shortcuts. He took up the exile to the forest very diligently to the dot. He followed by taking up the austerities that entail that whole order that his father had given, where he had to not enjoy any facilities or any luxuries. He has to be walking. He took up the austerity very seriously to the dot. There was no one watching over Lord Rama how well he executed that orders of Dasharatha. It was his own conscience, Lord Rama's own conscience, that dictated how much he should stick to the austerities. Now, each one of us, if we are given certain instructions and if we are told to follow certain instructions and they're hard for us to follow, they're not the easy route. How many of us would break those rules if nobody is watching over us? You don't have to tell me here. Each one of us have to question our own selves and see, am I breaking the rules and the laws if nobody is watching over me? Because, the definition of character is what you do when nobody is watching you. And Lord Ramachandra is an epitome of perfect character. He wasn't doing things because somebody were watching him or because he wanted to get an approval from others. That is the way of life that Lord Ramachandra chose, regardless of who is watching him. So while he was in the forest, he chose the austere path. And why is austerity chosen by people who are noble, who are divine, and who are trying to attain progress on any path? Why is austerity chosen? Because when we choose austerity over sense gratification, the opposite of austerity is sense gratification, isn't it? When we choose austerity over sense gratification, naturally we will be predisposed to be blessed by the nature to attain the power to achieve whatever we have set our goals. Naturally that vibes will be, we will be creating vibrations around us that will help us to achieve the goals that we have we have set for ourselves. And that's the reason behind austerity. It's not something sentimental or fanatic thing. It's something which is naturally makes us inclined easily at a very highly attainable goal. Some of the goals are very high, and not for people who are lazy or people are easily yielding to sense gratification, easily yielding to break the rules. Those people cannot achieve high goals. So these type of austerities help us achieve high goals, and therefore austerity is very important for all of us as students. Hard work, giving up activities which do not help us in our studies are austerities, isn't it? Dedicatedly focusing on a project or on a subject or an AP subject or an assignment or a quiz is what is austerity, as opposed to being distracted and thinking, procrastinating, I'm going to do it later, it's okay, or I'm just going to uh, take the notes of somebody who's already prepared everything and I'm going to read from that, and instead rather than me preparing by myself, isn't it? Those are all shortcuts. Shortcuts don't give us the experience to become wise. The whole reason why we have a process in place, whether it's education, whether it is extracurriculars, whether it's spiritual endeavors, there are processes and practices. And these processes and practices, when executed to the dot, will help us become wise. And what is wisdom? What is wisdom? Yes, Prajit?
Is wisdom like a type of knowledge that you gain from like experience?
Exactly. And if we don't take on that experience by choosing shortcuts, then how will we become wise? Right? That's why we always should follow the process that is set up for any endeavor, for studies or extracurriculars. If it needs practice, we have to, because every practice that we do, every minute that we spend towards that endeavor is actually going to make us wiser, and that's wisdom. So Lord Ramchandra, to the dot, followed the instructions. He never ever chose shortcuts. He never ever uh, broke the rules of dharma or righteousness. He could have crossed the over the sea and reached Lanka with his divine power. He didn't have to actually engage all the devotees that were engaged in building the bridge to Lanka. Isn't it so? Because Lord Rama is God, God himself. He can just say, snap of a finger, he can build a bridge across to reach Lanka. But he, through his virtuous qualities, inspired others and then achieved through whatever the inspiration of others. As a normal human being, he achieved success. That indicates to all of us that we also have to take the example of Lord Rama in choosing values, in choosing righteousness. And when we connect ourselves like that, then we will be able to achieve true success. And true success is, what is true success? Yeah, Prajit is the only one who's in the class today. I see only Prajit raising his hand. I want more participation. Yes, Prajit.
Would true success means you're successful in a way that benefits both you and everyone else around you. Would
Very nice. Yes, that is
that be
what I
it?
mentioned. And also takes us closer to Krishna. That is also part of true success. If you want to include complete definition of true success. What you said is materially, yes, it's good. Whenever you are thinking about success, it helps you and helps others. If success means only it helps you, then it's not really success, right? It should be like for the entire society, community, and the people who are around you. Very nice. But also add, it also takes us closer to Krishna, because you being successful, if it makes you forget Krishna, then that doesn't really in the long run help you much. It should help us remember Krishna more. And remembering Krishna more means developing the qualities of gratitude, thankfulness. Okay, so that's about Lord Ramachandra's. And how do we celebrate in India or here? How did you all celebrate? Usually, on the day of that Dasara, they have the effigies of Ravana and Rama, and they shoot and they show the burning of the effigies of Ravana, indicating that this is the day when Ravana was destroyed. And the real message for all of us, as we know, is it's not about there are Ravanas around us and we have to fight them. Ravanas, Ravana actually indicates those negative qualities within us too. All of us have anger, we have jealousy, we have enviousness, we have hatred, isn't it? We get all of these thoughts sometime or the other in our life, isn't it? So we have to pray to Lord Rama to help us fight these demons within us. That is the significance of this festival. So on this day, I'm sure in all of your houses or most of the houses, you must have done some special rituals where you have cooked some feast and offered to the deities and then honored that prasadam, isn't it? All of us must have done that yesterday, being a weekend too. And then each family has certain rituals. Do you want to share? Any one of you want to share something different or something which you did, which you liked and which you thought is a cool thing that you all did for Dashara? As simple, it could be like you went to the temple there and attended an arati or something, right? Did you all go to temple yesterday? Yes, Sanvi and Sonika.
We are actually in North Carolina right now, Auntie, because our aunt and uncle had their housewarming party yesterday because it lined up perfectly for Dashra. So we did a puja with them.
Awesome, nice, very nice. Okay, how did Aviral do it?
I did Durga Aarti and I did Puja.
Very
And I
nice.
went to the temples.
Awesome. How about Nishka?
One of my favorite Masi's, she came over and she's staying with us because it's the weekend, and we went to like 4 temples yesterday, 4 different temples.
Oh, very nice. Good. See, that's a special day. And again, whenever we go to temples, whenever we do aartis at home or any special pujas, our prayer should be, please purify my heart. So I become so that I imbibe the qualities that Lord Rama exhibited when he was on earth. Isn't it? That should be our prayer. Otherwise, it just becomes a ritual. Oh, yeah, I wore nice clothes, fancy clothes, went to the temple and saw some aarti there. How does it matter? I just went there. It had a good time. No, it shouldn't be just like that. No, it should also have sincere prayers coming from deep within our hearts, right? That is one significance um, of Dussehra. 1 second, give me 1 second. Now, moving on to the next significance of Dussehra, it is about Mother Durga killing a demon called Mahishasura. Okay, so now who is Mahishasura? He was a very powerful demon, and under his leadership, what was happening? A lot of asuras were prevailing. And again, asuras are those who are embodiments of all the negative qualities, who are living at the happiness of the cost of happiness of others. And they were waging wars against the demigods. Who are demigods? Demigods are the divine entities that are empowered by Lord Krishna to carry on certain functionality in this material realm. Right? Like Indra is the king of the demigods, and he has the sun god, the moon god, the wind god, the rain god. And all these different portfolios in the material creation have been taken over, have been assigned to the different entities, and these are called demigods. They're not fully gods, they're demigods, meaning they have some powers by which they can control this material nature. There's a lot of the mind, there's a lot of the wind, there's a lot of rain, there's a lot of sun, there's a lot of moon, lost a lot of directions. So this material world, when it was created, it needs a lot of operational responsibilities. And all these operational responsibilities have been assigned to different entities, and they're called demigods. So demigods actually are working to help human beings live a blissful life so that they can focus on not only a material life, but also in spiritual life. For example, if there's no sunshine, human beings cannot exist, right? If there's no rain for a long period of time, then there is no crops, there's no food. Therefore, we cannot live happily. So all these demigods are actually facilitating our human beings and living entities living in this material world in happily. So they are in the favor of creation, whereas asuras are against the creation. They are only thinking about how I become the overpowering entity so that I can rule over everything and I can grab the facilities of other living entities and use them for my enjoyment. So at one point there was this war against the demigods by these asuras led by Mahisha Asura. His name is Mahishasura. So when it was getting overboard, then Mother Durga, she takes up on herself to destroy this demon called Mahishasura. Durga Devi, she's a divine mother. When she mounted on a lion, her vehicle is lion, ferocious lion, and she fought this mighty demon for 9 days, signifying that however powerful this demon is, the energy, the potency of Mother Durga was day by day diminishing this Mahishasura's power. And on the 10th day, she kills him. And that 10th day, coincidentally, is also this Tithi in the month of October, November. And therefore, this Dussehra is the day when Mother Durga destroys the demon Mahishasura. But the 9 days preceding Dussehra are called Navaratri. Nava means 9, Ratri means nights. The 9 days and nights that Mother Durga fights with Mahishasura is celebrated to honor the feminine, divine femininity, because Mother Durga is is the one who fought with this demon. Mother Durga is in charge of the material nature. Nature is called as mother. We say mother nature. And we are all children of Mother Nature. She is protector. And when anybody is troubling us, she cannot take it as a mother. So she fought with this demon for 9 days and 9 nights. And therefore, these 9 days are called Navaratri. And these Navaratri are celebrated, signifying each feminine potency. One day for Mother Saraswati, the goddess of education. One day for Mother Lakshmi, the goddess of opulence. And there are different other, there's Durga Devi, there's Vijaya Devi, there is Vaishnavi, there's Kumuda, Chandika, Madhavi, Kanyaka, Maya, Narayani, Ishani, Sharada, none other than Saraswati, then Ambika, Bhadrakali. So all these different feminine potencies are celebrated during the 9 days, glorifying Mother Durga, thanking her and showing gratitude to her, saying, hey, Mother, because of you, because of your power and because of your protection, we are able to live happily. And what does it mean for us in the current context? We still have to seek blessings of Mother Durga so that we can fight the demons within us. There's so many little Mahishasuras within us who are like coming as anger, laziness, procrastination, doubting, not showing interest in the subject and in the studies. All these are the negative qualities that we have. Therefore, we have to be thankful. It's an auspicious period of time when we were offering prayers and thankfulness to the feminine potency. Again, feminine potency is also part of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Lord. If you go very, very high level, the Supreme Lord, Krishna's energy is this feminine potency, Mother Radharani. In the material realm, when it comes, in the spiritual sky, it's Radharani. But when it comes to the material realm, it is declared as Mother Durga, who is the potency or the energy. Okay, so this is also one of the significance of Dussehra, and in the South India, people celebrate by having something called Golu or Bommala Koluvu, where they have a series of steps on which they display different pastimes of Durga, or different representations of the Nava, the 9 Shaktis of Durga, the different pastimes from our Puranas and the Itihasas, where they portray Ramayana, they portray the different Leelas of Krishna. All these are displays of all these idols which have representation of various pastimes. These 9 days, they put this Bommala Koluvu or Golu, and they invite ladies and children, and they sing glories and bhajans and prayers to Mother Durga, to the Lord, and that way remember and create a vibe of auspiciousness in the house. Right? That is one way of celebrating during this. And in West Bengal, that celebrate this as 5 days. On the 5th day, they have this big effigy of Mother Durga who is killing Mahishasura. They worship her with great pompously, with great decorations, fireworks, and lot of offerings, loud and nice, beautiful prayers. So that's how it's celebrated in West Bengal. In different states of the country in India, they celebrate it differently. However, the purpose, regardless of where it is celebrated, how it is celebrated, is to seek prayers, to seek blessings, asking for purification. That is the essence of any festival, especially of Dussehra, is purification of the self, purification of our heart, of all the negativities in our heart. If that is not being done, then that is the value of celebrating a festival is zero. So that is another significance of Dussehra. Then comes another reason why Dussehra is celebrated is on Dussehra day, on Vijayadashami day, the tradition, especially where I grew up from South India, we go to take blessings of the elders in exchange for some leaves called shami tree leaves. We give the leaves to them and they bless us and give in return some small gifts in terms of cash or some blessings they give us. And what is the significance of this shami tree? Shami tree is the tree where Pandavas, during their exile, remember Pandavas, they had this agreement that they would go to the forest for 13 years and for 12 years, for total 13 years, out of which 12 years they would be in exile. And the last year they were supposed to be in incognito. Do you all remember this? Incognito meaning they should not be recognized. If anybody recognizes them as a Pandava, then they have to repeat and start over this 12-year exile again. That was the deal that was there, conditions that with which they lost that, what you call the gambling, and then that's how it happened, right? So during the 12 years of exile, they were carrying their weapons around and going because it wasn't an incognito period. But in the 13th year, they were supposed to be incognito, meaning nobody should recognize them. And if they're carrying their weapons during that 13th year, people will know, right? Like Bhima has the Gada and Arjuna has the archery weapons, correct? So people will recognize them. Therefore, they were going to hide their weapons. And this tree called Shami tree is the tree that they put their weapons on, right? And then Vijayadashmi happened to be the day when their 1 year was complete, and they went to the tree to retrieve their weapons. Therefore, it is also celebrated commemorating that pastime, and many people do worshipping of their musical instruments, of their vehicles, be it a car, scooter, a cycle, because these are all instruments that help us achieve our spiritual and material goals. Whether it's a car, see how the car helps us ride to different places where we are going to earn money, going to school, going to temples. Without a car, we cannot do this, isn't it? Therefore, we have to be thankful. Though it's an inanimate thing, is what we think, but that's a medium by which we are able to achieve our goals. So on this day, they also worship and be thankful, show the mood of gratitude to all these instruments, the vehicles that help us achieve our goals. Just like for Pandavas, these weapons were actually helping them. Without the weapons, they cannot achieve success in wars and battles, isn't it? So that's why they were, on the day they retrieved these weapons, they were thankful and offered some prayers, and then they engaged in whatever wars that happened eventually. Another reason during Navaratri and Dashera, the reason that's celebrated is the worship of Mother Saraswati. Mother Saraswati is goddess of education. You all know, right? Goddess of education in terms of not only studies, but also any artistic endeavors like music, dance. All those are actually blessings, will happen by the blessings of Mother Saraswati. So offerings are made to thank Mother Saraswati, and many times these educational processes are begun on this day. It's called Vidyarambham. So it happens on this day. And then another material perspective, significant reason around Dashera is the beginning of harvest season, meaning this is the season when people seek the blessings of Mother Earth for a good harvest. It's not like they harvest the crop, but it's the beginning of that harvesting season where they take the blessings of material nature and Mother Earth for praying for good harvest. Just imagine if there is no proper rains, if there's no proper sunshine, there's always hurricanes. Like remember recently we had this Milton was the hurricane, right? Was it Milton? This is so worrisome and fearful for everyone, isn't it? They're worried, and it did destroy. Many millions of people didn't have power. Some people lost their lives, despite knowing in advance that this is going to happen. Everybody had to flee from that place, had to vacate those places and relocate to other places. Why? Despite the technological advancements that we make, despite the scientific advancements that we all made, which we are proud of, and we think, oh, it's man's power, it's man's technology, man's discoveries, man's science that helps us live better. But despite all the knowledge advancement that we made, people had to flee because they did not know how to control or stop these tornadoes, hurricanes. That indicates there's something higher. There's a higher power than us. At least in those times, at least in these times, we have to realize the presence of a divine power. Somebody might say, if it is divine, why is it coming to destroy us? Is it an asura that's coming to destroy us then? Because asura comes and troubles human beings. regardless of it being an asura or a divine power, we have to understand there is power beyond us, and we have to be humble and succumb to that power. Succumb meaning not in a mood of slavery, but in a mood of, yes, I accept your greatness and I am nothing. I am how much ever advanced we are still not big, we're small. That's the humility that we all should carry in our hearts when we experience situations like this. So that is also celebrated, to be thankful to Mother Nature, to the creation, to bless us so we don't have catastrophes, we don't have the extreme droughts, no earthquakes, no whatever what is that called? What is this called? Calamities, material calamities, right? So when that's why it is even in Bhagavad Gita chapter 3, Krishna says how people have to perform yagnas. When yagnas meaning fire sacrifices, but in Kali Yuga, the yagna that is recommended is the Kirtan Yagna, Sankirtana Yagna. Sankirtana Yagna meaning chanting as a group the glories of the Lord. Is everybody paying attention, or are you all bored and distracted? Paying attention, right? Sankirtan Yagna is that yagna where we chant the names of the Lord, the glories of the Lord loudly as a group. And when the demigods are pleased by such chanting, then they shower us with rain, and only with rain we have crops, and only when crops are there we have food to eat, and only when we have food to eat we can live happily, isn't it? Just imagine there is no yagna, there is no rain, there is no crops, and there is no food. Then how?
Wait, is that similar to like the Krishna's Govardhan Puja pastime? Like when the Rajwasis used to do the Indra Puja? Was it that
Yes,
for that reason?
yes, that's right. Very
Mhm.
good. Very good connection, Prajit. Yes, they would do Indra Puja because Indra gives rains, and Indra also, I mean, the rains give us crops, and the crops give us food, and the food gives us energy to live, isn't it?
Mhm.
And if we don't have rains, then that's the reason people would perform Indra Puja. However, in that pastime, Krishna diverts the puja to Govardhan Hill because Indra was getting puffed up, thinking that he's the greatest. Everybody's dependent on me. So teach him a lesson, that pastime was performed. And also to teach us that Govardhana Hill is not different from Krishna. Govardhana Hill, without Govardhana Hill, how much of a rain was showering, Govardhana Hill was actually the storehouse of all the trees, the nice rivers, the nice grazing fields for the calves, and fruit trees, everything. Actually, Govardhana Hill was actually the storehouse. It was bearing all those. Therefore, people were supposed to be, in order for people to know that Govardhana is not different from Krishna and Govardhana to be worshipped, Krishna performed this pastime. But for our daily life, we also respect Govardhana Hill. We know the position of Krishna, but we also should be performing these yagnas of Sankirtan Yagna and all, so that we are blessed with basic necessities of happy living. Only when we are having food to eat, when we have minimum circumstances, good facilities to live, only then we can think of Krishna or praying to Krishna. If somebody is hungry, how can they pray to Krishna? Isn't it? So, for a comfortable living, so we can pray to Krishna, so we can do more glorification of Krishna, we have to do the Sankirtan Yagna, again glorifying Krishna only. Okay, so that is another reason. So how many reasons or how many significance of Dussehra did we speak till now? Can anybody summarize or give one after the other?
It was three of them, right?
Mm,
Sorry, a four. Put them
mm,
out there.
okay, Avir, Nivan, I was thinking you all are taking notes. You're not taking notes? That's sad. If somebody took notes, they would have told how many by now.
There's like Durga, Durga killing like an asura.
Mahishasura.
Yeah, my gosh.
Okay. And
There was Ram killing Ravana.
okay. And that's all, only two? Boys and girls. Yes, Supreet.
There's also the Saraswati Puja, like
Yeah, three.
honoring their Saraswati.
Uh-huh.
And there was more. There was, let's see. We already said Durga, right? Durga,
Yeah.
Ravana,
Mhm.
and Saraswati.
Yeah. Yes, Ishi?
There was the start of the harvest season.
Harvest season, yes, 4. There's one more. See, this is saying that you all are not listening. Something about Pandavas?
The Pandavas hiding it underneath, hiding their weapons underneath the tree. Is it? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So those are the 5 reasons that we should associate with Dashera and remember these and also take models from each of these stories. From Lord Rama's pastime, how to live a value-based life, no shortcuts. From Mother Saraswati's relating to this, how we have to take her blessings, seek her blessings for any spirit, any knowledge that we are doing. From Pandavas, remember how all the instruments that we have around us, instruments meaning not like musical instruments only, anything that aids us in progress, how we have to be thankful. For harvest season, how we have to be, beginning of harvest season, how we have to be thankful to Mother Nature and be in a prayerful mood, asking her to facilitate a comfortable life. And then Mother Durga, who's the protector by killing the demons. Therefore, we have to pray to her, asking her to kill the demons within our hearts. Right? So, my homework for all of you is write the 5 reasons or 5 associations of Dasara festival and what is the takeaway from each of these significances, the 5 significances. What is the takeaway for us from each of these significances? Okay.
Wait, I have one other question. So, is Dussehra and Sankranti related in some way? Because you said Dussehra is the start of the harvest. Wouldn't Sankranti be the end?
Correct. Yeah. So Dasara Sankranti is where you really harvest, meaning you collect all the grains and all and cook with those grains. This is the beginning of the harvest, meaning it relates to sowing seeds maybe, or it is maybe nurturing them, whatever. Right. But very good question. So that is the time when we start sowing certain pulses, certain cereals like grains and navadhanyas, which are different types of grains. So this is the time when they start sowing. To signify that people also sow them in pots within the house on the first day of Navaratri, so that within the 9 days it sprouts, like each of those grains sprouts, and to signify that this is considered a sign of prosperity, right? If things are sprouting, that means it's a sign of prosperity. Okay. Now that we are done with discussion about Dasara, how many of you already knew all these? Or at least few of them? Okay. Nivan, you knew. Aviral knew. That's good to know. Okay. Now what we can do is, let's revise last week's verse. How many of you learned the verse? What is the verse that we learned? What is the chapter number, text number? Yes, Ishi.
Chapter 7, verse 9.
No, verse 10, right?
Yeah.
Chapter 7, text 10. Go ahead.
Bijam mam sarva bhutanam vitti partha sanatanam buddhir buddhimatam tejas tejas vinamam.
Very good. Who else wants to go? Supreet?
Bijam mam sarva bhutanam viddhi partha sanatanam buddhir buddhimatamasmi tejas tejasvinamaham.
Awesome. Very nice. Who wants to go next? Yes, Prajit.
Bijam mam sarva bhutanam vidhi partha sanatanam. Give me a second. Next part. Buddhir buddhimatam asmi tejas tejas vinamaham.
Good job. Next. Who wants to go next?
I can go.
Yes, thank you, Sanvi.
Bijamam sarvabhutanam vitti sanatanam buddhir buddhimatam tejas tejasvinam.
Awesome, good job. Next. Yes, Nishka, close your eyes.
Bijamam Bijamam sarvabhutanam Vidhi Sanatana. I don't remember the rest.
No worries. We can maybe tell it after everyone finishes. How about, yes, Dhatri.
Bijamam sarvabhutanam vitti partha sanatanam buddhir buddhimatamasmi tejas tejasvinamaham.
Awesome. Good job. Who else? Abiral. Go ahead. Abiral.
Bijam mam sarvabhutanam vidhi partha sanatanam buddhir buddhimatamasmi tejas vinamaham.
Awesome. Good job. How about Nivan? Go ahead.
Bijamam sarvabhutanam viddhipata sanatanam buddhir buddhimatamasmi tejasvinamaham.
Nice. Now who is left? Shloka and Nishka, you want to try? Nishka, go ahead.
Okay. But God.
Bijamam.
Bijamam sarvabhutanam vidhi partha sanatana padematammasmi tejasvinamaham.
Good job. Okay, Shloka, did you learn?
I wasn't here for last class.
No, that doesn't make you, that is not an excuse for not learning. I sent the recording, I sent the audio recording, the video recording. So you should still be able to learn even if you're absent. Okay, don't give that excuse anyone next time. Okay, we should learn the verse even if we are absent. All right. Okay, now who knows the meaning of that verse? What are the points that Krishna is saying in this verse? Yes, Supreet.
Should I say the translation or just like the 3
I
points?
want you to tell the meaning in your words, in your own words.
My own words?
In fact, close your eyes and tell because you should know by
Okay,
what.
okay. So in this verse, Krishna is saying that he's saying 3 points. The first point is that he is the intelligence of the intelligent. The second point is that he is the seed of all living entities. And the third point is that he is the prowess of all strong men.
Awesome. Good job. So totally, how many did we learn till now? 7.8 to 7.10. How many things that Krishna told he is he has. He is in 11. How many different places? Let's start from first verse, from 7.8. Who knows in 8th verse, what does Krishna say? Yes, Prajit.
He said that he's like the taste of water. And he's the syllable om. And then he's the light that comes from the sun and moon, right?
Yeah, very nice. And he's also sound in ether.
Oh, yeah, sound.
So 5 there, correct? Then next verse. What is the next verse? Punyo Gandha Prithvyam Cha, where he's talking about fragrance. Yes, Aviral.
In the 9th verse, he says that he's the original fragrance of the earth. He's the heat and fire and the life of all that lives. And he's the penances of all ascetics.
So 4 there, right? So 5 plus 4, isn't it? 9. And then in 10th verse, what does Krishna say? You all just said.
He's the prowess of all men. He's the seed of all existences. And then he's the intelligent of the intelligent.
Yeah. How many does it make now total?
12.
12. So how about we write this 12 also next a small what you call a note or a small paragraph on this 12 points, just writing how it helps you remember Krishna. Can you all do that? So 2 homeworks. One is about significance of Dussehra and what are the significances we discussed of Dussehra and what are the takeaways for you. Write them down, or else you will tell I didn't note it down. Please note it down. And then the second homework is what are the 12 places that Krishna says he is, and how does this help me remember Krishna more? Okay. All right, it's right on top of 11 now, so we'll stop here. Yes, Supreet.
So there are 5 significances that occur during the day of Dussehra. So should we like try our best to like honor all of them during the day of Dussehra? Like all of the 5 significances?
Yes.
Okay.
Not only on Dussehra, those Navaratri times starting. Of course, we finished Dussehra yesterday, but during the Navaratri, the 9 days before and the 10th day also. But you're asking me in terms of writing the answer or general application next
Like
year?
general application.
You should start having this consciousness. Whenever you think about Dasara, you should think about these 5 things and that messages that you have that we have to do. And during that time period of Dasara, you do something special to apply, or as an application of that, maybe do some every day some special prayer, mood in a mood of thankfulness and gratefulness, right? And along with the rituals that your family follows, because as we discuss, each region in the country of India has different traditions and practices to connect with that essence of the significance, right? So you should also follow those. Those are also important because now you grow up to become an adult, right? And then if you don't know what are those traditions and rituals, what will you do as a family person? Unless you involve and engage when your parents are doing. And if your parents are not doing, ask them, what are you doing for Dashra? Are there any traditions and rituals that our parents or grandparents used to do when they were at home in India? Can you tell me what those are? And then try to connect how these rituals are connecting with the significance of the festival. There should be connection. Okay. And then your own way of connection also, you can sit mindfully in one corner of your room, and then you have your own customized prayer for 10 minutes. That's how you continue on to this legacy in the future. If not, it's broken, it'll be broken when you grow up as adults. You'll just go to temple because a lot of temples are popping up in every corner of the city. Yes, you will go to the temples, which is very good. They'll help us at least stay rooted to our culture, but we have to also be able to have our own understanding and being able to implement those. Okay. All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you all next Sunday again. Try to participate in the 100% attendance challenge. And we'll see how many of you come out successfully by the end of this year in May. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Thank you all. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank
Hare
you.